What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I made a video about a spec stock story, and that's because specs have been pumping really hard lately, like multi-bag left, right, and center, intraday 100%, 400%, 1800% pumps, left, right, and center. However, TKM or Trek Metals Ltd has fallen into my lap this afternoon. I spotted it because of my stock scanner. I saw the volumes today, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? Look at this chart. So earlier today, it was sitting at 6.5 million market cap. And if you can see the depth here, there's very little to go with, right? There's not many sellers. So if I bring up the chart, we can see there's a lot of interest, at least lately. I mean, $300,000 was traded today. That's not an insignificant amount for a spec stock that hasn't had a price sensitive announcement in like a month. So I had to look at what was happening today. So I caught it at around 3 p.m. and I didn't have much time to make a decision on whether I was going to buy or sell. Now, I bought in at 5.1 cents today. So if I bring up the chart here, towards the end of the day, 5.1 cents. So I do have a financial interest in this stock, guys. And just another disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. This is simply an educational based video on the decision-making process behind why I bought TKM at 5.1 cents today. So this is not a recommendation to buy or sell this particular stock. Now, guys, I know you're getting sick of this disclaimer, but it has to be said because there are a bunch of degenerates out there that will buy a stock based on a YouTube video, and then when they lose money, or if they lose money, they will find someone to blame. So if you buy TKM and you lose money, lick my balls. I don't care. So, moving on to the announcements, we've got the Lawn Hill project, which is owned by TKM. Now, the interesting thing is that they have anomaly strikes along the same corridor that hosts the Walford Creek project, which is owned by AML. AML has 55 million market cap. Pre-COVID, they were 155 million to about 200 million. So I don't know what's happened there, but the point is that these guys are next door. So here's the Walford Creek project on the right-hand side. And you can see this is the same sort of geology. They're sitting on the same platform. And this is the anomalies that they were talking about. There are hits right next to it. So we have copper, zinc, lead, all right next to the Lawn Hill project, all with very similar geology. And of course, you can see the geology changes around here. But the point is we have tenements in here with the same geology. Now, this is called the Lawn Hill platform, and that'll be important a little bit later. Now, Aeon Metals owns this project. And if we scroll down, we can see why this is so significant. So we have a nearology play because this company has the highest grades and largest tonnage of copper cobalt sulfide deposit in Australia. Now, these guys, you might be thinking, well, 40 million tons at 2% doesn't sound that great. Guys, 2% copper is high grade. If I bring up this chart here, we can see copper at 1.5% or anything greater than 1.5% is high grade. So these guys are sitting at 2% for the copper, which is brilliant. So Australia's highest grade and largest tonnage copper is a brilliant nearology story. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to hit, doesn't mean TKM is also going to have high grades of copper and cobalt. It just means it's nearby, we're on the same geology, it just means there's more likelihood, in theory, that there's going to be some copper, at least far more likely than if you dig in the ground beneath your feet right now. Now, this is what's called nearology. This is what drives the spec market. It's the story, and I love this story, but it doesn't end there. The other thing that caught my attention was this part here. The Lawn Hill project contains highly prospective geology with the potential, keyword potential, to host large-scale sediment-hosted zinc-lead deposits similar in style to the world-class Century deposit. Now, those of you who don't know, Century is Australia, actually no, it's the world's largest open pit zinc mine. And in fact, we can see it from space over here. It is freaking enormous, right? And then this is sort of the Lawn Hill area, and the Lawn Hill project, we can see here, the Century deposit is located on this Lawn Hill platform. Remember when I mentioned Lawn Hill platform here nearby where AML is, where those strikes of copper and cobalt are? Well, Lawn Hill is sitting on a pretty sizable chunk of the platform itself. And of course, the Century deposit here is about 150 kilometers away, and it's sitting on the world's largest zinc mine, or open pit zinc mine. So that's another sort of brilliant story. And I associate TKM, this particular stock, with the story of ARE, which is Argonaut Resources. ARE was pitched as this multi-bagger, this really strong potential to just be like Olympic Dam. They had a gravity anomaly survey, and it looked like the size of Olympic Dam. And for those of you who don't know, Olympic Dam is Australia's largest IOCG deposit, and it's run by Rio Tinto. So as you can imagine, if that's their flagship project for Rio Tinto, it's worth billions. So that's why Argonaut Resources pumped up from whatever, I think it was 6 mil market cap to around 30 million, or might have been 25 million. I don't recall. But look, the case study that I did on ARE is in the links in the description below. So check that out if you're interested in that story. Now, guys, that's what moved ARE. It was the idea that it was going to be the next Rio Tinto deposit, which is Olympic Dam. Now, how I see Lawn Hill Project being spruiked to, I guess, retailers and other investors and sophisticated investors is this is going to be the next Lawn Hill project, or rather it's going to be the next Century deposit, or it's going to be the next, what's this one? This is Aeon Minerals, right? Aeon Metals. It's going to be the next Walford Creek project, right? That's the story. That's the story, and that's the reason why I bought into TKM. Now, does this mean that they're going to hit a sizable deposit? No, absolutely not. It's just a story. And this is what I do. I buy high and I sell higher. Now, if there's a really good story, and in my opinion, this is a fantastic story. It's a hype story. And that's all it is. Right? There are absolutely zero guarantees that this land will pick up anything. But it's the story that counts. And the story is we have, or rather, I've bought into a story that has the potential to be one of two world-class minerals. It could potentially be copper and cobalt, or it can potentially be zinc. The fascinating thing is that we have two world-class deposits not that far away from TKM's Lawn Hill project. So that's the story that I bought into, and look, I look forward to seeing where it goes. If it dips down, I would expect no lower than this horizontal here at 4.4, then I would absolutely add on to my position. I would love to add on to this story because I think there's a lot of hype behind it. And I guess once this kind of story gets picked up in Facebook groups, in amongst trading circles, whether it's professional or otherwise, I think the story can potentially move. Now, obviously that's my expectation because that's why I bought into it. So you can see here, the people that have been accumulating and buying this stock based on zero advertisement, right? No one's talked about TKM on social media, right? These people are clued in, or it appears that these people are clued in to the potential of this story as well, based on the geology. So I do find this story really fascinating, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the next 2 weeks. Have a good one, guys.